Hi, I made this scarf for my boyfriend. It's super warm and super cozy, and I thought that I will share with you how to make it. It's very easy to make, so easy that I don't even know how much I chained, to be honest, to start this scarf. You can just feel how wide and how long you want it to be. That's what I did when I made the scarf. I made it using Tunisian crochet, which gave me this lovely knit stitch. Even though I don't knit, I don't know how to do it, I was able to achieve this look. So let's start with the tutorial. You will need some yarn, Tunisian crochet hook, which is a little bit longer than regular crochet hooks, and of course something to cut the yarn. I don't think stitch markers are a must, but if you are trying Tunisian crochet for the first time, you may want to use it on the edges. We start with a slip knot, and how much do we chain? Well, it depends on how wide you want the scarf to be. So just eyeball it. That's what I did. When you're done with your chain, you need to turn it. This is the front of our chain. You can see the lovely V's, but we need to turn it. In the back of our chain, you have this third bump. We are going to crochet into this third bump. It may not be the easiest. As you can see, I was struggling a little bit while I was trying to insert my hook into the first bump. And honestly, you can use your nails if you have trouble like I did. When you finally manage to insert your hook and pull up the loop, remember that this loop stays on the hook. You just go to the next bump and pull your hook through, pull up a loop, it stays on the hook, and you do that until you reach the end of the chain. When we reach the end of the chain, we do return pass. First, we go through one loop, then we go through two loops. So we yarn over and go through two loops, and we keep going through two loops till the end of our return pass. Only the first one is one loop. We stop with our return pass when we have one loop on the hook. We don't go through this last loop. Next step is Tunisian knit stitch. We ignore the first two loops that you can see and we go in here. I used darning needle to show you exactly where. So in between those two loops here, we are going to insert our hook between those two loops that you can see me doing now, pull up our yarn through, and it stays on the hook. Then we need to find our second space, insert our hook, and pull up another loop that stays on the hook. I guess you can see it more clearly with those two white loops that I'm going between those two white loops. Honestly, even though it's very easy, I'm not sure at the moment if I'm speaking clearly and if you can see what I'm doing. But you can probably hear that I am a little bit sick. It's been a week and it's not getting better. So I even feel like I'm not thinking clearly at the moment. So I'm sorry about that. But I hope I can explain this. So at the end, you have this space over here, the very last two stitches. You go through them, and sometimes it's not easy. As you can see, I was also struggling with that. But yeah, use your nails to go through this space so our work will be even. It will have even edges. You pull up the last loop, and we start our return pass. So one loop, pull the yarn through, then pull yarn through 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops until you have only 1 loop left on the hook. So we can start over. It's super easy. I am actually going to show you this step with another yarn because this one was giving me too much trouble. It was too tight on the hook. I took another yarn that I have, Royal Batik from Zayman, and it's a little bit thicker, so I hope it will help you see. I started my work, and as usually, we are going to ignore the first 2 loops that you can see, and we are going to go into second set of the loops. I'm showing you again. Yeah, I hope it's very clear. I am going to speed this part up a little bit so I can get to the end of my round and I can show you again how to finish it off. We need to find those 2 loops at the very edge of our work so we can pull our yarn through. It's not easy with this yarn either, but it gets easier as you go, as you make more rows. There we go. So now we can start our return pass. Remember, first loop, 1 loop only, but then we pull our yarn through 2 loops until we have 1 loop left on our hook. I'm going to do a couple more rows and then I will show you how to finish your scarf. When you are completely done, it's the length you want it to be. I also want to say, don't worry if it curls up, because it is what Tunisian Crochet does. You can also see with this yarn the lovely knit stitch, but yeah, to finish off our work, we need to do slip stitch. So we go in with our hook between those 2 loops, as we did this whole entire time to do the knit stitch, and we just do slip stitch instead. This closes our work and gives us even edge. While I finish off my last row, I want to really thank you if you got to this part of the video and you didn't click off, because yeah, I really wanted to share with you how easy it is to make Tunisian crochet scarf and achieve this lovely knit look, even if you are not capable of knitting like I am not. I hope that even though I am sick, I was able to explain everything clearly enough and that you were able to make your own Tunisian crochet scarf. If you did, please let me know. And I hope to see you in my next one. Until then, bye!